My Dream by Steve West, April 9, 2021. A Welsh independent movement was formed 100 years ago, but the people of Wales are still not free. 100 years later, the life of the Welsh people is still sadly crippled by the manacle of poverty and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Welsh lives on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, Wales is still languishing in the corners of British society, finds himself an exile in his own land. So I've come here today to dramatise a shameful condition. It is obvious today that Westminster has defaulted on this promissory note insofar as the citizens are concerned. Instead of honouring their sacred obligation, Westminster has given Wales a bad cheque, a cheque that has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vaults of opportunity of our Welsh nation. And so we have come to cash this cheque, a cheque that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and security of justice. Now is the time to make a real Welsh independent democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of poverty to the sunlit path of justice. Now is the time to lift our nation from the quicksand of injustice to the solid rock of brotherhood. Now is the time to make justice a reality to all Welsh children. It would be fatal for the nation to overlook the urgency of this moment. There will be neither rest nor tranquillity in Wales until we are granted our right to self-government. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundations of our nation until the bright day of true sovereignty. We can never be satisfied as long as our children are stripped of their selfhood and robbed of their dignity by stating, "We demand freedom." We cannot be satisfied as long as a Welsh person in Wales cannot vote for sovereignty and thus believes he has nothing for which to vote. No, we are not satisfied, and we will not be satisfied until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream. I'm not unmindful that some of you have come out of your trials and tribulations. Some of you have come from areas where your quest for freedom left you battered by storms of persecutions and staggered by the winds of police brutality. You've been the veterans of created suffering. Continue to work with the faith, and that unearned suffering is redemptive. Go back to your homes, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you, my friends, we have the difficulties of today and tomorrow, but I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in Wales. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its destiny. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal with individual sovereignty. I have a dream that one day Wales will be able to sit down together at the international table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day Wales, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by colour, race, language, or religion, but by their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day in our Senate, with its First Minister having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that one day right down in Abertillery, little boys and girls will be able to join hands with other boys and girls as sisters and brothers in Wales. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be engulfed, every hill shall be exalted, and every mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plains, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of Wales shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. This is the faith that I will go back home with. With this faith we will be able to hew out of the mountains of despair a stone of hope. With this faith we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. It's with this faith we will be able to work together, pray together, struggle together, go to jail together, climb up for freedom together, knowing that one day we will be free. This will be the day when all Welsh children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, land where my fathers died, land of the Wales's pride. From every mountain side, let freedom ring. And if Wales is to be a great nation, this must come true. So let freedom ring from the hilltops, let freedom ring from our mighty mountains. Let freedom ring from Newport to Newtown. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped mountains of Snowdonia. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of the valleys. But not only that. Let freedom ring from the stone steps of our Senate. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of every county. When we let freedom ring, when we let it ring from every tenement, every hamlet, village, town and city, we will be able to speed up that day when all Wales's children, black men, white men, Jews, Gentiles, Protestants, Catholics, Muslims, will all be able to join hands and sing the words, free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.